Hey, everybody. Just real quick before we even start, I just want to say that tomorrow on the channel, Sunday at 12, is a very special thing that I've been working on. It took me a long time, and I worked really hard on it. Chris helped me a little, but I'm sure he won't mind.
That's me.
I'm sure he won't mind me saying that most of it was me. But yeah.
Oh yeah, I was absolutely an afterthought in the whole thing. And I even talk about it.
But yeah, that's coming out tomorrow. I just want to let people know because we're not doing a normal Sunday episode. We're just doing that. Very excited for that to drop. It took a long time. It was very fun to make, but it took like 13 and a half hours not recording the VO recording. So I'm only going to do it again if people really like it. So I just want to get the word out there.
It was a sunny day anyway, so why should we complain? It was a sunny day anyway, so why should we complain?
Welcome to the podcast. My name is Thunder.
I'm Lightning.
And today we have a very special
Drum roll.
guest, Dr. Emory Paine.
That's me. Except, okay, so that's me. I'm not an actual doctor. He made that part up. I just want to make that clear and not commit any crimes. My name is, I guess we use real names.
I already used your real
we already
name.
used your real name.
I was so focused on the doctor thing. Yeah, my name is Emory, and I'm today's guest on the podcast.
Correct. How are you? Let's start with that. How are you, Emory?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm maybe getting into a topic already or not, but we're just coming from a session of D&D.
Yes.
And so I'm pretty pumped from that. That was a pretty cool session. So I'm excited for this.
Awesome. He seems excited. It's good.
Yeah.
We'll see how this mic picks up later. I was just looking at it. Don't forget to project, Emory.
No.
You can scream into the mic. Yell into it.
Yeah.
We'll be
So
fine.
if Emory and Chris are on the same mic, I'm on my own mic. So if shit sounds a little funky, that's why. But what are we gonna do? That's our setup for now.
Send us money.
Sure. Send us money or subscribers.
Or subscribers.
There you go.
Subscribers will work too.
Introduce guest did that. Chris, because Emory is not caught up, let's quickly talk about the fighting game tournament.
Oh yeah. Well, he's gonna get this whole week spoiled.
I'm a week behind on the regular show. So, yeah, please just do it. Yep.
All right. I
you-
won.
You won, yes.
I
You
won.
won.
Congratulations. That was an instant spoiler.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, there's going to be a lead up. They're going to be like, oh, another drum roll.
No, he won.
Okay.
You won, but I'm really glad we got to play Fighter's Destiny.
Yeah.
Every time we turn that game on, it's
Oh
a
I don't think anybody's watched it yet.
I could check right now, but I'm not gonna.
But yeah, I didn't think I was gonna win.
No, yeah, it was fun. You teased it on the last podcast, but we'll definitely do that again.
Oh yeah, definitely, because we
with
missed a
different
lot of
games.
big games.
Yeah, we'll definitely play
Wait,
Dragon
so,
Ball
all right, well,
Fighters.
Okay, I'm now cheating. I don't even know what games you played. What did you do?
We
on this week?
played we played Arms. Round one.
It was my first time playing Arms, Emory.
What was round one?
Oh.
I guess round one was Arms.
Yeah,
Round two,
I mean, I can get it on my
round
phone
one
right
was
now if you
Pokken
want.
Tournament. Round two was Arms. Round three was Injustice 2. Round four was Ultra Street Fighter 4. That's the game that Chris took the victory in. And then for the last day, we played Fighter's Destiny, a game we were gonna play anyways for the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
But we still wanted to play it because it's a really fun game.
So enjoy watching that now.
I promise you've got at least one more view coming on each of those videos. And I guess everyone else who's listening to this, you should go watch it too. Again, if you've already watched it. More views, more subscribers, make new accounts. Probably shouldn't be saying this. You can, I don't know. Yeah.
Wow, he said it, not us.
Yeah.
I'll
I'm not
take my
gonna-
check now, please.
I'm not. I'll check back in with you when we have over 1,000 subscribers. But yeah, that was fun. I mean, not much to say. We didn't really play a Sunday game, or
no.
did we?
Well, so we did, but it turned into a whole week.
It was Pokemon. No, it was Pokemon Stadium this week, and we already. Oh, okay. Sorry, we all got a text at the same time.
Yeah, we did.
It was from
Every
the same
single one of
person.
us, guest and
wait,
all.
Hey, I'm in the group message. I'm
Um,
included.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, we don't have to talk about Pokemon Stadium anymore. I feel like, I mean, you won.
I win it all. It's
I also haven't seen that, so that was also a spoiler.
no!
I'm a week behind. I haven't gotten even to the
Oh,
first
no.
Pokemon Stadium episode, so here I am.
Oh.
Yeah, he told me earlier they are, they as in Emory and Kelsey.
Kelsey and I, yeah.
They just got finished with episode 2 of Ratchet and Clank. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to go in order as much as possible. We'll skip ahead for this special episode that Anthony just teased. And we've seen the first episode of their movies and TV podcast
Yes.
release. But other than that, we're going in order.
Speaking of, Game of Thrones starts tomorrow.
Yes.
So I think we pretty much figured out that the podcast will, with probably little editing, because we want to get it up as quick as possible, be out on Monday.
Yeah.
And it
hopefully.
might be 10 minutes, it might be an hour and a half, like as long as we want to talk about this episode.
Yeah.
Because these episodes are like practically feature films. I think we have found out at this point that they're going to be like an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah,
each.
it's gonna be insane.
Yeah.
Over 120 minutes, I believe.
Oh, even better.
Holy
I might be wrong. I could be wrong. That's what I thought I read.
Is this okay? So this isn't the thing that Chris, you heard from Anthony that you've talked about like 5 times. Like you've actually heard this from somewhere else now.
Facebook.
Okay, all right.
And then, nope, that's later. Okay, so how was your week? Let's start with our guest. How was your week?
My week was pretty good, I guess. I'm trying to think of specific things that happened in particular. To be honest, this week was just a lot of me spending time at home catching up on specific different manga or games because I haven't had a lot of game time. But I tried to carve out time this week, not even related to this, but just for myself to do that.
Oh, cool.
So that was good. And obviously we just had D&D, so that's
Yeah.
nice. So overall, it was a pretty good week.
Can we hold on?
yeah.
Can,
Stop the podcast.
No. we gotta like remix that and put it in an episode. That was awesome.
Yeah, sure. I'll definitely know how to do that.
Hey, listen, you can magically put pictures over videos. That's magic to me.
Okay.
The editing has gone up every episode
Oh, yeah.
that I've watched so far. Like unironically, this is not even a joke.
Thank you. You know, I work really hard.
I hate this.
to,
I hate this.
I-
Did I mention for the thing coming out tomorrow, 13 and a half hours in the editing.
I know
bay.
he watched me for that long. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, I was just there to mediate.
I wasn't here.
I'm gonna while you're saying that, I'm gonna put up the picture of all the editing marks in tomorrow's episode.
Yeah. That
So
picture
people
you
can
sent
know
me.
just how much work I did
Oh my god. No,
that you took credit for.
we don't get a lot of behind the scenes like shots from behind the curtain or whatever. So yeah, throw it up.
You want a shot of what the room you're in right now?
No. My room is so
I-
messy.
This room is great. No, I've heard tale of the room that we're currently sitting in for a long time.
What's your pop quiz? What's your favorite part of my room? Is it the fact that it's 175 degrees?
I just took my jacket off. It is heating up as we speak. No, I mean my favorite part is probably just the fact that you've arranged it so nicely. Like I've been in other rooms of people with different fandoms before, obviously. But the fact that each different thing has a different spot and it's so nicely arranged and organized and sequenced, like there's care put into every different thing. So
That is the first time someone has complimented the way I've arranged everything.
what?
Because I have Pez figures and then pop figures and then action figure type stuff and then like mostly Nintendo, but like basically like just a bunch of collectibles I have, and then I have Amiibos and Pokemon.
Yeah, no, there's very clearly different like areas and boundaries and fandoms and things like that. That was immediately obvious. So yeah.
Cool. I didn't expect to like that answer that much. Chris, how was?
I'm sorry. I hate it. This room is terrible.
Yeah.
I like to leave, but I said I'd be here for the full like hour, so here I am.
He signed a contract and everything. He has to stay here.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, how was your week?
It was pretty good. Star Wars.
No, that's later.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, hold back.
I found out I'm graduating this week. Cue the song.
That's pretty good. Well, Pomp and Circumstance?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely not copywritten, so let her rip.
If it is, so many schools would owe so much money. Anyways, so that's exciting. Got updates on Call of Duty.
What?
That
well,
game is so short.
Oh, yeah, it's because they don't want you to play the
I
single
know,
player. They want you
but
to play...
they did it so well, but it's so short.
Yeah.
I was kind of upset. I was like, it was just like, it ended with epilogue, and I was like, cool, I'm halfway there.
Oh. Yeah, no, epilogue means end of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My week was okay.
Oh, okay.
How
How was your week,
Yeah.
I
Thunder?
did, I mean, I did a lot of editing on that thing tomorrow. I
Oh,
basically just, my whole week was editing tomorrow's video and planning this D&D campaign that we just got back from. That was my week.
Which was epic, by the way, because there were a
Thank
lot
you.
of different components and things going on in it. I mean, okay, I don't know how much we want to get into this right now.
No, talk about it, man. If
I
you
mean,
want to talk about it.
No, because one of the things I like specifically with Anthony as the DM, which is his position in our current campaign, Chris and I are in it along with a couple other folks, and Anthony does a great job of mixing and balancing the fighting aspect, which a lot of people like, but not everyone is its favorite part. But he mixes that with the engagement and interaction between not only us as the characters and the party, but with the world itself. And he's world building with the people in it, along with the foes and the people in the background. Like, it's a really great mix of things and of just like puzzles and strategy. So every session has so many different things going on, and so there's obviously time put in on the back end of setting it up, and then obviously as it's going, he's doing the instant DMing that he has to do. So I mean, every time, yeah, it's a blast.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, he's all right. No, you do a good job.
Thank you. That means a lot. I do put a lot of honestly, like, it hasn't happened yet, but like, if we got to like Thursday or Friday and I was like, this just isn't coming along, I think I just cancel it, because like, I don't want to show up with a half-assed story, I like to, and I also like to, I don't know if I've succeeded or not, I like to mix it up each time, because like, God forbid, like, every campaign is like, you guys are in a forest, get from point 1 to point B,
Yeah.
and you to get into 2 to 3 fights along the way, and there was a puzzle. Ooh, like,
Yeah, no, I mean, that's obviously something we definitely also noticed that, or at least, I mean, I don't know like how consciously I'm recognizing this, but as he's saying, he changes it up, not only locations, but places we're going to, things that we're doing and encountering, when they happen in the session even, like maybe there's a fight at the end, or maybe they're interspersed in the middle, like everything is always changing when we get together, so, yeah.
I also I like to I like to be just like a chill DM, because I can't stand being on this side of the screen and like being on the other side of the screen. Sometimes I can't stand when DMs are so strict with the rules. Like, there's a perfect example, referencing another podcast for a second. The McElroys do a Dungeons and Dragons podcast called The Adventure Zone, and they've talked about this before, where there was a scene in one of their campaigns where they were both like, they were like driving like buggies, and they were like, the buggies were fighting, and one of the characters got knocked off the buggy. The other character, who's a wizard, summoned, I think it's called like
Oh, the horse one.
yeah, I think it's called like
Yeah.
Loyal Steed or something, as if to be like, I'll put my horse underneath you. But
Okay,
that spell is a spell that you're supposed to stand there for 10 turns before casting, but rather than being like, you can't use that, the DM Griffin was just like, fuck yeah, that's awesome, do it. So I try to like
Okay. Yeah,
I try to
yeah.
like do that. Like, can I do this? It's like, that sounds like fun. Rather than like, no, because it's not your turn and you only have a bonus action left,
Yeah, no, I mean, that just is having more fun for all of us, because we're able to exercise our creativity there with our characters and like the spells and what we have access to, and it's just awesome. So
Yeah, at the end of the game, at the end of the day, Dungeons and Dragons is a game, and I want people to have fun. I feel like I fail as a DM if people feel like they're doing work while playing Dungeons and Dragons. Chris already talked about Call of Duty. Have you been playing any video games this week, Emory?
So as I referenced earlier, I have been. So there have actually been a couple. So I don't know if I want to talk about all of them or not, or how much time we have for this specific segment.
We have as much time as you need.
Okay. Well, I can go over. Okay, so there's a few of them that are games that I like have come back to, and I can like pick up for like half an hour when I want to, and can play casually, just over time without having to have that ramp up period before. And for me, those are split between is very niche categories. Tennis video games, because I've got a personal passion for tennis, and a lot of tennis video games, in my own personal opinion, are actually pretty crap. And so I've found like two that I personally enjoy and can come back to.
Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort.
I have. Well, here's the problem: is that I have played Wii Sports before and I actually like it, but I don't currently own a Wii system. And so I have liked tennis video games on other platforms. I'm limited to the ones that I own, which is basically an Xbox 360, a regular Xbox, an Xbox One, a Nintendo 64, and a Switch. And so the two, and PC too. And so the tennis games I come back to is Topspin 4 for the Xbox 360, which came out in like 2011, and I've been playing since then, like off and on. And the PC game Tennis Elbow 2013. Which, in my opinion, is the best tennis, basically like emulation of what it's like to actually play the game and the variety of shots and things. It doesn't matter. The point is that I can like jump into a game of that, play a match for like half an hour at any point, and I like hardly have to turn my brain on. Basically, I'm just playing the game, and it's just something for me to do. So I've done that a couple times this week. I have an Xbox mostly because my friends have Xboxes, and so that's the system I have. And one of the games with gold that I got recently was the original Battlefront 2, which you have a poster of, literally right there.
Yeah.
So I had this game as a kid. This was like 2005 or something. This came out. I had this game. I had the original Battlefront still, but I had this game, and I lent it to my friend, who I won't name on this podcast.
You nailed it, 2005.
But can I swear? Is
Yeah.
that?
Wait, no, hold on. You've been watching this show long enough.
It's just so like ingrained in our casual conversation. I can't remember if you guys just swear or not. But I lent it to my friend, and he just never gave it back to me.
What a
And
bitch.
this was again like 10 years ago, and obviously I've gotten over it.
We're calling him out. Give us back the game.
Well, the point is that I've now got it for free because it was on the games with gold thing, so I've downloaded it to my Xbox again.
I have a story after this.
And I played through the entire campaign already this week.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Along with just like messing around with like Galactic Conquest, playing as different things. So I've done a lot of that as well.
When I was a kid, I had this friend. I will not name him. I had Legend of Zelda Wind Waker on Nintendo GameCube, and I played it once. I was like, maybe. That I've played it since. That game's awesome, but I wasn't feeling it at the time, so I let my friend borrow it, and his cousin pissed all over it.
Wait, sorry. That was just not what I was expecting.
No,
I'm like,
me
another
either,
story where
man.
they just never gave it back.
No, me either, man. Yeah, he was like, I could give it back to you, but it's got my cousin's piss on it. And I was like, you fucking just keep
Why
it.
didn't he wash it
What?
or anything?
Or, like,
No, it was ruined,
or
dude.
replace it like.
This is a PSA. Don't piss on discs. It ruins them. I found out the hard way. Either that or that was his excuse and he did something else to it.
I'm finding a lot out about my friends here, so I can't piss on Anthony's games.
Please don't.
And Emory loves tennis. Two
Yeah,
things I didn't know.
I'm just now hearing about your affectation with tennis.
It just never comes up in conversation usually because there aren't, in like, the different groups I'm interacting with always, not a lot of huge tennis enthusiasts.
Yeah, I've actually never ever played tennis.
Yeah, no, and okay. So personally, I'm terrible at tennis. I suck, and I'll just put that out there to the world to know. But I've been following tennis for like 10 years, like the game, and I have favorite players and things, and I played pretty much every tennis video game out there. And again, I hate most of them. There hasn't been a good tennis video game in years besides Tennis Elbow 2013. But that's whatever. Yeah.
If you ever come on the show proper, we should play one of those with you.
Yeah, I'd do that.
That would be great. That'd be cool. I don't know how good I am at teaching controls or strategies or anything, but that'd be fun. Yeah.
Hey, have you seen the show? We're pretty okay at video games.
Yeah.
Just adequate.
Listen, I said this before. I'll say it again. There are some video games that I can confidently say I am very good at. It just so happens that Tetris 99 is apparently not one of them. Moving on. Let's talk about news, but we're not going to start with what Chris wants to start with. We're going to run through all the news real quick.
Hold it in. Just we're gonna get there definitely.
Real quick. All Might was announced. He's in Jump Force.
yes, that's so exciting.
I might pick up that game. I didn't realize they were gonna have DLC characters because, from what I've heard, that game is bad. So we'll see. We got more info on Disney Plus. The Scarlet Witch TV show is for some reason called WandaVision, so that's great. The Mandalorian is going to be available at launch.
Yes.
And Disney Plus is going to be on Nintendo Switch, which is exciting. And it's only going to be
really?
Yeah, and it's only going to be $6.99 a month.
Yeah,
which is like half or
Yeah.
like a third of Netflix.
Like that's so much less than I expected,
Yeah,
especially
me
with the
too.
content that they've been talking about.
Especially because it's Disney, and Disney's like, no, come to our stuff. I honestly thought this was going to be like $20, $25 a month. But
Yeah, I mean, like I guess they're probably lowering the price to just get more people at launch and kind of undercut Netflix's price because they just raised them even recently.
they actually just raised them, yeah. Mortal Kombat 11 is dropping soon, so expect a Sunday video on that soon. Word on the street is Shazam is good, Chris.
Really?
Yeah, I guess it's really good, and people are loving it.
I'm shocked.
I guess it's like...
I guess make that 2 good DC movies.
What was the other one again?
No, you said I'm basing it off of your
Wonder
list.
Woman is good.
Justice League, you said.
I like Justice
Wonder
League.
Woman is good.
I like Justice League. Other people didn't like Justice League. Have you seen Aquaman, Emory?
I have not seen Aquaman,
Yeah, me
so
either.
I can't comment on Aquaman.
I hear that one's good, but word on the street is Shazam is good. What I've heard is it knows what it wants to be. It's mostly funny. The climactic battle is like really good, I guess. Have you started Sabrina season 2 yet?
Nope.
Well, then we won't talk about it. It was really good. And that's all the news. So let's go to
No, stop it.
No, take it away,
What
Chris.
a bully. He intentionally left it out.
No, there was a new Star Wars trailer for the next episode of
Oh, yeah,
Star
that's
Wars.
it. There was just a new Star Wars trailer.
That's all, no big deal.
First one.
Hang on, hold on.
And
hang
a
on,
title
Hold
release.
on, hang on. There are some people who don't like to watch Star Wars trailers. So
Right. Spoilers, ahoy.
starting now, we're going to assume, this conversation is going to assume you've seen it, and we're going to spoil the whole trailer. Obviously not things from the real movie, because we haven't seen it, obviously, but for the trailer, we're going to spoil basically every scene, probably.
So like I said to you, and I'm actually adding to the list,
Okay.
I frantically called Anthony after watching it. He was at work.
I was
He didn't appreciate it none too much. I said, I watched it. It was great. There were 2 spoilers. There were 3.
So I'm not quite sure. Let you take the floor first, because I'm not
Sure.
quite
Well,
sure.
I was curious if you knew what I was talking about.
Are you talking about the fact that we saw Lando Calrissian
Yep,
in the trailer?
that was one.
Okay, well, I mean, we knew he was going to be in it.
Right. That was the one I was like, it's not really a spoiler. Like if you look up the cast list, it's gonna ruin it for you. There were 2 other ones though.
Is one of them what I can only assume was Kylo Ren fighting a bunch of stormtroopers?
No, he was actually fighting the Knights of Ren. Interestingly enough,
Okay.
He was fighting the Knights of Ren in that shot?
it would appear so. That's how the Knights of Ren dressed. That's my assumption. That was a member of the Knights of Ren that
Okay.
he was fighting.
It's such a quick scene, and there were stormtroopers in that
Yeah.
scene.
No,
so...
the stormtroopers, from what I could tell, are flanking with him.
Okay.
Um,
So what are the other spoilers that you were talking about?
Number 1, the lightsaber's fixed.
The lightsabers. What? Which lightsaber?
That
Sorry.
Rey's lightsaber in like the first shot where she's jumping up and over
Yeah.
the thing. Yeah, her lightsaber
It
got broke.
Yeah, it's broken. The Last Jedi.
It got
that's
snapped in half,
kind
the
of a
tug of war scene.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's fixed. Well, that was a big topic for people. They were like, "Is it going to become a staff saber now?
Yeah,
What's it
yeah.
going to become?" It's just, which I'm cool with. It's just would have been nice if it wasn't in the first trailer.
Yeah.
My other spoiler, Palpatine's going to be in this movie.
That wasn't in the
Yeah.
trailer, though.
What? Oh,
The
Was
Russo
it?
brothers announced.
Russo
Whoa,
brothers?
sorry.
J.J.
Sorry.
Abrams.
J.J. Abrams announced, yes, Palpatine's going to make it in.
wait. Okay, so I
Interesting,
didn't hear
okay.
the announcement. Like, was the exact wording that Palpatine is in the movie, or it's like a Force ghost thing, or like a memory? Like, do we know?
I didn't read into it because I genuinely don't want to know, but it sounds like he's making his way in one way or another.
Okay, I mean, it wasn't in the trailer though.
No, but they heavily implied.
Yeah. Okay.
So like what I took, obviously this is the very like last shot in the trailer, is that we got the crew walking up to the remains of the Death Star.
Is that what that was? Because I was a little confused.
I saw it. I've seen this trailer 3 times
Me
now.
too.
This one we just watched before we did this, so we all knew that was the Death Star. I wasn't sure
Okay.
myself until that
it looks
third
like
look
a
around.
naturally forming mountain.
But for some reason, I keep looking at the swoosh, which is clearly where the dish laid.
Yeah.
And I was like, that looks like it could just be a mountain. If you look more to the right, it's clear. Like that's the Death Star.
Okay.
Yeah, so like that was my assumption there, is that they're going to the Death Star. I don't know why they're going here, and I'm going to just assume that this is obviously either Endor or Yavin 4, because those were right above where the 2 Death Stars got exploded.
I believe the Death Star canonically crashes on Endor.
The second one, there's 2 of them.
Oh, right. Sorry, I forgot.
Right.
about
So like, and Palpatine's remains would be on Endor. And,
Right,
And so if there was any like weird, funky like Force stuff going on with him, it would be them going to the remains of the Death Star on that planet.
I would so be down for a return to the forest moon of Endor.
Yeah.
That's one of my
I mean,
favorite
it's
planets.
kind of the best part of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, I mean, Endor's great.
Just the fact that like Palpatine. I was talking with someone about this the other day. Actually, Palpatine had like this great plan, and he just didn't take into consideration the Ewoks, and that's what broke him pretty much.
Yeah. So there's something else I want to talk about in this trailer.
Okay. I have a little list of points that I want to get to.
Oh,
but-
okay.
but
Yeah. Well, we haven't talked about the title yet, but I guess
No,
we can get
yeah.
into those with your points. One thing that was really cool, which was kind of, it's interesting because if it's your first time watching the trailer, it's kind of a foreshadow for the title. They weren't playing Star Wars theme.
What do you mean?
They were
What were
playing
they?
Luke's theme.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right.
AKA the Force theme,
Right.
which is I guess what it's called now. I always knew it as Luke's theme.
Yeah.
But anyways,
So,
it's kind of a
yeah, I mean,
foreshadow
let's
into
talk
the
about
title.
let's talk about the title, which is, what is it, Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah,
Or Skywalkers?
the Rise of Skywalker.
The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Do you think that means that Vader's going to come back some way?
No. So I think it could be one of 3 options, 2 of which I'd be hyped for, 1 not so much. It's coming full circle, where this is the end of Luke. Like, he's already dead, but like here's his last hurrah. He's
As a
gonna
ghost
he's
or
gonna
whatever,
help
yeah.
save. He's gonna help Rey save the day.
I mean, he's clearly in this movie.
Yeah, he's going to, but like clearly they're referencing a single Skywalker.
right.
So that could be Luke's, the Rise of Skywalker, bringing it full circle with the saga.
Yeah.
It could be Kylo Ren coming around.
Oh.
He is technically a Skywalker.
Yeah. I mean, his name's Ben Solo, right?
Yeah, but I mean, if they called it Rise of Solo, that would kind of be giving it away.
Right. True.
Or it could be Rey's and she's a Skywalker somehow, and I wouldn't be okay
I'm glad
with that.
that's the one that you're
No,
like.
I would hate
because
that.
I would also hate
Especially
that.
because that would be a retcon of the last movie, and
Right.
maybe he was lying or something. Like, I don't know. But
Yeah, I
I
can't
would
wait
not
to see
like
these
that.
fucking directors play tug of war with each other. I can't stop laughing at the fact that he's like, I gotta put my mask back.
The
That's just
scene
like-
of him
like
literally,
fucking-
literally like welding the mask back together.
That's literally J.J. Abrams being like, I love this mask.
Yeah.
This mask is
I
staying in the
created
movie."
this mask and you took it from me. Okay, so the first scene of the trailer, it went on for way too long because
Yeah, it
I was
did.
gonna talk about how like I know how that scene's gonna end, but we pretty much saw the end of it pretty much.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I already talked about it. I thought it was Kylo Ren fighting stormtroopers. I just talked about how it's hilarious he fixed the mask. I am 1,000% confused about Princess Leia's appearance in this trailer.
Yeah, me too.
Like, am I wrong in thinking that there's no way that filming of this movie started before Carrie Fisher passed away?
No, it did. She finished her... I'm sorry. You looked
No.
like you had something to say.
The only thing I have to say is that I know they had like footage on the cutting room floor of the last movie of Carrie
Yeah.
Fisher, and but that's the only thing I can think of because maybe you were just about to say this, but I don't know when they filmed this versus when she passed.
No, at least this was the news when she passed. And they haven't really corrected it, so I can only assume it stays true. They said she finished her scenes before she died for this movie.
I thought that was in reference to Last Jedi.
No, for
Oh.
for this movie.
Interesting. Okay. It seems like they're pulling a little bit of a spoiler for Enter the Spider-Verse, but it seems like they're somehow pulling a Stan Lee cameo from that movie where, like, it's a sad scene where we say goodbye to Leia,
Yeah.
but they couldn't have known that she was going to
Yeah.
die.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she didn't finish her scenes for this one, but there's definitely gonna be a Leia conclusion. Either she's gonna live and she completed her scenes, or they're gonna be like, and see that planet? Yeah, it blew up. She was on it.
Oh, well, that'd be lame. That's what I thought we were going to get in Last Jedi. The scene where she's, like, floating
Oh, I
off into
know.
space, I was like, they did it. She died and it wasn't weird. And then she's like, nope. Just kidding.
You know what's funny too is they could have left it that way. She wasn't like.
they
I
could
don't know.
have
They would have
concluded
had
a
to
movie another way, but
Yeah, they would have had to reshoot a few scenes, but
Yeah.
there wasn't that much more she did in that movie.
right, there was kind of just 2 more scenes and then that was it.
Yeah, like I get what they are. I mean, maybe they're not even. I don't know, but like having an original member of the original trio of the cast die in each specific movie in this new thing to like fully close the book on that. Like I
Yeah,
get that maybe
because
thematically.
Han Solo. You're talking about Han Solo in the first one, Luke Skywalker in the second
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
A lot
and
of people are.
It's,
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's really interesting to me that Leia's the one who makes it because she's the least powerful
Yeah.
one of all of them,
Yeah,
in my opinion. What
a
were you
lot
gonna
of
say?
a lot of people are theorizing that this one. Actually, this is. I think my boy Kevin Smith said this. He's assuming the Millennium Falcon isn't going to make it out of this movie.
Kevin Smith is our next guest on the next.
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah,
I meant
he's
to say
coming
that.
up next. Please,
Um,
Kevin, we said it. Now you got to do it.
We're calling you out just like we called out Emory.
I didn't know I was headlining for Kevin Smith.
There's a shot in the trailer where it's a ship going over some mountains and then touching down in a city. Was that where Jar Jar Binks lives? Because it sure as hell looked like it.
Yeah, but it's not underwater.
How do you know, though?
Oh,
It
okay.
could've
No, you
been.
got me there. Also, people theorizing. You know how Rey's flashback when she's a little girl and he's like, "Quiet, girl."
Yeah.
And it's looks like the same ship.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Oh, I did not put that together.
Oh, that was another question I had. Do you think she's on Jakku or do you think she's on Tatooine in those desert scenes?
I would. I'd love it if she was on Tatooine. There's no reason to though. Like, there's no reason to be on Tatooine.
I mean, who knows?
Like the only reason I can think that they would go back to Tatooine is because it looks like they're doing some like thing of where they're trying to close the book on the entire
it looks
three
like
trilogies.
they're going to like so many planets in this movie.
Yeah, yeah.
The last point I
Touring
had
the
was,
galaxy.
The last point I had was I really love that finally all 3 of the main characters are traveling together.
Yes.
And they brought C-3PO
Yes.
with them. Which
Yeah,
is cool.
he's just freaking out on that craft. He's like, "Can I just retire?"
Did that poster end up being real? The leaked poster where C-3PO is holding Chewbacca's gun?
What? I never saw
Did
that.
you not see that? Yeah, there was
No.
a leaked poster, and I wasn't sure if it... Usually when they drop a trailer, they'll drop a poster, too.
I saw the leaked poster. I don't know if that's real. I can't imagine that happening. I would be great. I would love that scene, but
While I was watching this trailer,
Yes.
and I saw my boy Billy D. Williams
Yes.
on the Millennium Falcon, I'd like to think during shooting that scene, he was just thinking about that one a-hole at Boston Comic-Con, the first kid he saw that day, saying,
I'll never forget his name.
yeah, saying, "Oh, hey, it's the coolest guy in the galaxy," and him just having a nonplussed reaction to what I said.
Yeah, I think he was, in your words, the least excited to see a guest, a fan celebrity ever of all the ones you met.
Yeah, I like to think he was having a bad day. Also, I said something stupid, and I know it was stupid, and I'm sorry, Billy D. Williams.
That also happened to me.
So
when
many
I,
celebrities are watching our show.
When I saw, when I met Tara Strong, she was also having a bad day, and I was like, well, I didn't do this, but you know, we all have bad days, even famous people. None of that was into the mic, and neither is this. Yeah. Anything else we wanted to talk about the
I'm
Star
excited.
Wars the Star Wars podcast. No, the Star Wars trailer.
I,
I'm excited too. I
yeah.
liked it, by the way. I liked the trailer. I never even said that.
I'm a little upset. I do have one last thing.
Yeah, sure.
The titles didn't make a sentence. They were
I
so
don't think it
close.
was
They were so
gonna.
close to greatness. The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi.
The Rise of the Skywalker.
The Rise of Skywalker. God, Mark Hamill really wanted it to be from his nap.
Oh my god. Dude, how, like, there was like 3 or 4 meetings where J.J. Abrams was like, listen, don't do the Joker laugh, please. Like, do a laugh. Not the Joker one, though. I know you voiced the Joker for 19 years, but when you do the laugh, just make it as un-Joker-like as possible.
Can I be honest with you? When the first time I watched the trailer, it didn't click with me right away that was Palpatine, and I was like, "Why is Mark Hamill doing the Joker?"
Literally, same reaction and
Oh,
thought
really?
in my head. Yes.
What do
I'm
you
like,
mean?
The Palpatine laugh at the end. I was like, "Why is?"
But Mark Hamill was doing it, right?
No.
Oh,
What?
It could have actually been Mark Hamill.
I
No,
thought
but
that's why I was saying don't do the Joker laugh, because I thought that was Mark Hamill laughing at the end of the trailer.
oh, it could have been. I can't imagine. Well, no, I mean he wasn't that old when they filmed the prequels. I was gonna say I can't imagine the actor who played Palpatine still alive, but he could be. But no, in my head it didn't click that was supposed to be Palpatine. I was just like, why did he throw the laugh in at the end?
I don't think it is supposed to be Palpatine. I was convinced that it was Mark Hamill laughing.
I thought that was Palpatine.
Yeah, no, that was definitely Palpatine.
That's where I was making the Palpatine connection with the Death Star. Yeah.
It was his laugh, but it was Mark Hamill doing it?
It could have been.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was the actor who played Palpatine. Again, I guess I don't know how old he is or if he's still around or not. But
pretty
Whoever
sure-
it was,
sure he
that
is.
was supposed to be a Palpatine laugh.
No, I believe you. I think that was
Oh,
Mark
yeah, no,
Hamill.
I mean, if you have a great voice actor on board making this movie and the guy for Palpatine can't do it for one reason or another, I mean, use him.
that makes more sense now what you were trying to say with the Joker laugh. I'm trying to make these like connections. Like I'm going to get this, what you're saying. And now there it is.
Yeah, he's still alive. The guy who played him in the prequels, Ian McDiarmid.
Sure.
He is 74. He's from Scotland. Wikipedia tells you more than you need to know when you look at the little blurb about him.
But yeah, no, I mean, I'm good with that. I really, really want to talk about the reason we brought Emory on.
Yes,
right away.
Yeah.
Besides the fact he's great and he's got a good personality.
No, they have another reason that's not related
we
to that.
alluded to it on last week's episode.
Yeah.
Emory has a certain what would you call it?
No. What would you call it, Emory?
I guess I don't even know what to call it because it's not like
It's not like a disorder.
it's not a disorder. It's not like medically official or anything. There have been some studies done around this mental condition or something. It's okay. So it's called aphantasia.
Can we get that in like bright rainbow letters?
Yeah, I
like,
can write it
right-
on the
yeah,
screen.
Cool.
Not rainbow, but
Aphantasia. Yeah. So I mean, basically, it means that I cannot.
I, Dr. Emory
I
Paine.
no.
He almost said it.
If you say it, it's illegal.
I can't see pictures or images in my head. I cannot visualize things like when you like as a kid you're in like gym class or something and the teacher's like, all right, you're playing basketball. The teacher's like, you got to visualize the ball going in the basket, and then you're being able to shoot the ball better. Like I can't do that. Like if you say, oh, like visualize, what your room looks like if you're at work or something. It's like, oh, just think back to what things are like at home. Like I can't see that in my head. There's just nothing. It's just like thoughts are just like things in a computer. It's like bits of information that are passing in my head. So there's no images, and there's also no sound or voices. So there's no like voice running in my head. There's no songs or thoughts or things that I can like actually hear going on. Again, it's just like data, information that's going on in there. So no pictures, no images, visuals, voices, none of that is happening. And I didn't know that was different for a long time. I had no idea that was a weird thing to happen to someone. And I had no idea that other people actually heard or saw these things until just a couple years ago when I randomly read an article about it. And I'm like, yeah, that's just life, buddy. Yeah, deal with it. And then everyone's like, oh, that's so weird. I'm like, no, it's not. That's just how it should be, right? And then I started talking to people around me, like my family and my girlfriend, and I'm like, you're weird. And they're like, no, you're the weird one. I'm like, oh, well, that's good to know. And I guess I've, made it work, obviously, because I'm still alive and just doing things day by day and like have a job and all that. So it's obviously not negatively affected me that much.
So like, for example, as to like how like severe this is, like if I asked you to describe to me your girlfriend's face, you could not do that.
Yeah, okay.
That was something you've said before.
So yeah, no, this is something that has thrown people for a loop, and they have reacted negatively.
I have a question based off of this exact question I want to ask after you say what you have to say.
Okay, yeah, sure. So I can't picture her face in my head. Like, I could tell you descriptions about her head and her face. Like, she has, round glasses, and her face is, oh God, what am I, why have I put myself into this box on this public podcast? It's kind of like an oval shape, and she has brown hair that she usually puts up in a ponytail or something similar, like a bun on her head, and she has earrings in her ears. This is a terrible description of my girlfriend, and any of these.
Everybody draw what you think she looks like. Put it in the comments.
Like, okay, that's. Maybe this is related to your question or not. I don't know. But if I was like mugged or something, and the police are like, "All right, we're gonna bring in this."
Oh yes, no. Please let me ask the question.
All right, let's do it.
All right. I'm not gonna say your name, even though I think we might have already. But your girlfriend goes missing. You're in the police department, and they get the sketch artist in, and you describe to your best ability what she looks like, and he picks up the piece of paper, turns it around, and says, "Like this." Can you be like, yes or no? Can you answer with full confidence?
Oh, true. So assuming you did a good job and he actually drew her face,
all right,
would
so
you be like, yes, that's...
That's a really interesting question. So, yes. Like, for example, if I saw, like, my phone background is a picture of myself and my girlfriend, and obviously I can look at that and say, like, oh.
No. But let's say they stole your phone. You have no...
No.
way
I'm not. I'm just saying that, like, if I saw a picture of my girlfriend or a visualization, like, yes, I can make that mental connection. That is my girlfriend. I have seen that face. I know what that face is. Like, if I don't have face blindness, which some people have, where they just... like, they could see a face one day, they see the next day, they don't recognize it. I don't have that. I would be unable to describe her to the sketch artist, and it would be a terrible representation of my girlfriend. And if I got mugged and the person was like, all right, let's describe this mugger, I'm like, I got nothing. I got nothing for you. I'm just without whatever they took now. Like,
walking target, ladies and gentlemen.
Again, I shouldn't have said this on the podcast, but if you rob me, you're gonna get away with it. Just take my phone, take my wallet. So it's free money.
So that would be the end of the conversation, except it opens way back up when you talk about dreams.
Oh my God. Okay.
I thought we were done as a group of friends talking about this, and then you were like, well, I do dream. And I was like, well, hang on.
Yeah, I have yet another question about this specifically. And this might get complicated, and I might explain it poorly, and so let me know if you don't understand what I'm trying to say. So, you claim you dream.
I do.
Okay. There's going to be a layer of inception here. So
you're probably using that word correctly in this instance.
So have I not before?
No, I mean, no. Other people are like, cake within a cake, cakeception. That's not what.
Oh yeah, no.
Inception is like specifically about
yes.
dreams. They use it properly in the movie, but when people are like two shirts, shirt within a shirt, shirtception, that's not how that word works.
So, okay. You're sleeping, you're dreaming. You're fully aware that you're dreaming. No, I mean, assuming this works normally like everybody else, you're not aware. You're not loose. You're dreaming. You're picturing stuff. You can picture stuff while you're dreaming. You wake up. How do you know that you were picturing stuff in your sleep if you can't picture stuff while you're conscious?
Okay, so that is a good question. And to what Chris just said, yes, it's true. I dream and I see things probably the way that you guys see them, in the sense that like it's just like I'm living my life, like I am right now. I'm here right now. I'm doing things. Things are acting upon it. Like I'm just the same things that would be happening in my life, and the way I'm experiencing it in my life right now is how I would have it in my dream. I'm seeing things and I'm doing things in there. And okay, I wake up, and obviously I know that I just dreamed because I can't remember it. And I guess basically the only way I can describe it is that the memories of my dreams are the same as the kinds of memories that I have of my life, and that I can remember seeing things or doing things. Like the fact that I saw them or did them, I just can't remember, or I can't picture exactly what it was that I saw, like to the finest detail. Like if I saw a painting, I'd be like, oh, I remember I saw that painting. I remember I really liked that painting. I remember it was like a landscape painting, and there were some cool colors in there probably. I probably couldn't tell you what the colors were, how they mixed together. I probably couldn't recreate that painting for you, but I definitely saw that and might have stolen it or trashed it or something, depending on the dream.
Okay, so it kind of works, I guess, the way you would describe your girlfriend's face, where once you're awake, no longer able to visualize it, but you took in the information as if it was real life, and so now you have that information, and you know it happened, and you can describe it in whatever. I'm not gonna say, in whatever aphantasia way you can describe it.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And
So there's no level of like, what was your dream about?
well, I could tell you what happened, like, to the extent that, like, at far away from a dream, you kind of forget what happened. I feel like that happens to everybody.
Right, yeah.
You just can't picture it again, though.
Yeah, like I
okay,
could tell you what, like plot points. Like I could tell you about it as long as it was within, like, I don't know, half an hour of me dreaming it, unless I like wrote it down or something. But yeah, I actually have more questions for you guys because obviously we have.
No, please.
I mean, yeah, we have different experiences again, and so
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like on the other end of this.
It's compared to what you've told us about aphantasia, it's a dream, Emory. It's so great. I can replay an entire album in my head right now if I wanted to. You got to go listen to it somewhere.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, well, that's Chris actually gets at an interesting point right there. In that, like, people have, like, this isn't related to what I was about to talk about. We'll get back onto that. It's another tangent. Like, songs get stuck in your head, right? You, viewers.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, that kind of happens to me, too. And it's weird in that, obviously, I'm not hearing the song, but I'm, like, kind of, like tapping along. I can feel the rhythm. I start, like, singing it. Like, I'm, like, caught in the mood of wanting to, like, do that.
It sounds like you want the experience of feeling the song in the moment, so you try and bring it up any way you can.
Yeah, I probably because I love music. I really enjoy, I don't really perform music anymore. But when I did, I enjoyed it. I enjoy listening to it. So obviously, it's a great, like, all the experiences and the senses that I have in my life are great, and I want to experience them and feel them again. I just can't do it on command, which gets into, because I want to figure this out in a bit more detail. And I spent a couple minutes yesterday writing a very short, like really descriptive situation that I just want to read and have you guys like close your eyes and try to hear and experience. Okay. And then I just wanted to quickly quiz you afterwards to see if you could actually see, hear, even like touch or feel these things, because I don't know what it's like.
Okay. I'm down for this.
So I'm just going to read this real quick. And again,
you want us to actually close our eyes?
Ideally.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Close your eyes.
They are closed.
I want you to fully just visualize this. Readers, I guess you're not really reading. I don't know why I keep saying readers or viewers. You're not viewing anything. Listeners, listen along. Do this too. And you can respond to the quiz afterwards. I won't hear you, but you'll know what you said. Okay, here we go. Close your eyes. You're standing on a beach. No sandals. Your feet are just right there in the sand. You've kind of dug them in a bit, so the sand is covering most of your toes. And the grains are shifting slightly as you just sort of sway with it in the wind, and you can feel in your feet the edge of what might be a shell touching your left pinky toe just centimeters below the surface of the top of the sand. And the top of the sand is just kind of hot from the sun, but it's a bit cooler underneath the bottom of your feet as you kind of dig them in there. And so in your head, there's not a single cloud in the sky that you can see on this beach. It's just this big baby blue ribbon stretched above you in every direction, except for this bright pulsing sun. And your eyes kind of stream over it for a moment, but then the bright rays feel like they're piercing through you. So you quickly shut your eyes and you look away. And there's a mix of red and white light flashing against your closed eyelids, but then that fades away slowly, and you feel a bit better, so you slowly open your eyes in this imagination in the beach again. You're opening them in your head. And then your skin is feeling a bit hot from the sun, that pulsing sensation. It feels like you're covering yourself in a warm blanket. It's heating up. And you walk over, and you sit down on your beach towel that's right under an umbrella stuck in the sand to your right, and it's sort of a bit behind you, so that it's shading you from the sun. And most of your skin is covered in the shade, and it's feeling a bit cooler instantly. But your left arm is kind of still sticking out from the outside of that shade, and so the sun is still pulsing on that and hitting it, and the heat is still reaching it, and you're still feeling a bit of the warmth on your left arm. And so looking out onto the ocean, the waves are just kind of lazily shuffling in and out from the shore, and a bit of white foam stirs up as they close in on the beach. But then the foam fades into the sand as the waves move back. And then the view in front of you in the ocean is wide open. There's a sandbar peeking out on the water on your left, just a ways away in the water. And then further in the distance, there's a hazy outline of what might be an island. And then right in the sand, you see a couple with their family and their kids just kind of building sand castles. They got buckets and they got some hand shovels, and they're trying to build a sand castle. They've each got a couple piles in front of them of the sand, but it feels like everyone in the group has kind of their own idea of what a castle should look like. So there's just loose piles of sand everywhere in different formations. And off to your right a bit in the sand, there's a group of teenagers kind of near the water a little bit. Some are splashing around knee deep. Others are kind of standing on the edge of the water trying not to get wet. And then focusing on the sounds coming in, opening your ears a little bit, you can hear some of those guys and girls kind of happily shrieking as they get splashed in the waves in the water. And the waves themselves are providing this constant wash of noise as they move in and out. And that's mostly covered by all the chatting all around you from the other people on the beach. And there are a few seagulls up ahead that puncture the sound and the buzz of their cries as they just swish and swoop and fly above. And then you close your eyes again, and you taste the salt of the water on your tongue as you breathe in deep with your mouth and your nose, and the air is tumbling around you in your mouth, and it's mixed slightly with this odd chemical taste of the sunscreen that you got on your lips, which you just sort of smeared a bit too close in your mouth as you lathered it on earlier. And so now in real life, I want you to open your eyes, and I need to know if you actually saw and heard and felt those things.
I gotta say, did you actually write that?
Yeah, I did. I wrote that yesterday.
That was so well written.
Yeah, that was so well written. How did you do that with your
aphantasia nonsense?
I don't know how. So I'm a writer. That's my profession. I write in a marketing agency. I don't know how I do these stuff like that because I can't experience that. Obviously I've had those experiences before going to a beach or something, but I can't feel that again.
So that's the thing that I wanted to talk about, if you don't mind me starting, Chris.
Yeah.
So first of all, I do want to take this seriously, but I am glad I brought my towel because I always forget. Here's what happened, and you brought up the point I was going to bring up first. All those things have happened to me before, right? Not in that order, but I felt my toes in the sand, the shell thing, heat, coolness, teens playing. I can, no clouds, everything you described. I've seen those before, so it was easy to piece the puzzle together in my head of this new fake experience that I was having. I will say something interesting that happened. I had my eyes closed, I promise, but I also had my hands over my eyes because I wanted it to be as dark as possible. And at one point, I opened my eyes. So my eyes were open, but they were still covered by my hands. I couldn't do it anymore. I had to have my eyes closed to continue, with the scene.
That's
with
interesting because I opened them for a second and shut them. I didn't have my hands over my eyes. And I was I could still do it with my eyes closed, but the sensation was definitely brought down after I opened them. But but just to answer your question, Emory, Yes, you explained that so well. I could feel, see, and hear that and taste that experience.
Yeah, that's the part to your credit as a writer, I could taste that whole episode, it was
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's nuts, man.
He was tasting it before you even mentioned taste. He was licking everything in that scenario.
Was I not supposed to be licking the microphone during that
No, that was the salt. It was from your own sweat on the microphone. My bad.
No, God, I think I'd get like very sick from licking a microphone, even though I'm the one who uses it. Anyways, but yeah, that was, it was it was easy for me.
Are you upset that we can experience that?
No, I'm not upset. It's just so interesting because none of those experiences, I couldn't feel them or they weren't happening to me.
Even as you were talking about them and describing them?
No.
See, because your description was so well written, I had such a easy time experiencing those sensations.
And that's kind of like, I feel like, first of all, you're very good at your profession, obviously. And I feel like you're handicapped in your profession.
But
because I feel like
he's not.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's clearly overcome that level because the level of description necessary to write that, like, I feel like I would need every sense of my non-aphantasia brain to come up with that, but you would just pure information and know, like, being able to put yourself in the scenario. Did such an excellent job explaining that.
Yeah, again, it's so difficult to explain because you, me, us, viewers, listeners, whatever you're doing right now, we're having different.
I guess they're viewers now.
You're having different experiences in like everything that you do in every second of the day in the world between what you're doing and feeling and seeing and experiencing than what I'm experiencing. And it's just two mental states of being that is so hard to describe. Like it's been so hard to describe what I'm actually experiencing.
Even beyond that, like everybody, assuming that a couple listeners did this with us, everybody's scene that you set out, even though it was the same words, was a little different. Like, bad example, but
that's
like
a good point.
Maybe the last time Chris touched a shell with his toe, it was a bad experience, but for me, it was a whatever experience. Like but beyond that, nothing with you.
Yeah, no, nothing. And like maybe one of you guys has been to a beach recently and you saw that beach specifically in this situation, or there was like some like place or specific towel or umbrella.
I did. I pictured Revere Beach.
Oh, okay.
When we were doing that.
See, counterpoint, I haven't been to a beach in probably a couple years, like just hanging out and being on the beach. So, but it was still easy for me because
okay. Well, I hate the beach. I'm just gonna.
I also hate the beach. Just gonna throw that out there.
I don't. It's not that I hate the beach. It's that I hate being outside.
I hate that too.
I've suffered second-degree burns in my life.
Oh.
Yeah,
and I hate. It's kind of like I have a real issue with the potential of getting burned.
Yeah,
and I always get burned at the beach. So I hate the beach.
I hate being outside so much that like even playing Mario Sunshine is too much. Like. Like that's even like that was a joke. That was supposed to be a joke. So that whole game is that. Never mind.
I'm also a fat guy, so the beach really isn't a place for me.
Okay. Well, no, that was actually really interesting for me then. In that case, just hearing what your experiences with that, just one specific situation, because I just wanted to cover all the different kinds of senses to get a full understanding of what you guys experienced, and so yeah, that was helpful.
You did it, man.
Yeah,
and like I experienced all the sensations.
I don't know.
Yeah. What was weird, I meant to say this. What was weird for me was closing my eyes as my eyes were closed. Like when you in the the episode, as I referred to it earlier, that you wrote, when you told me to close my eyes, I was like, what? Like,
well, I mean, in case you haven't noticed, there's a few pop figures missing. I don't know. I feel like we didn't have to close our eyes.
Yeah, close your eyes again, guys. I got a new situation cooking up right now. I'm just gonna stand up for a second. I'm just gonna grab a couple of these. Pay no attention. That's interesting, and that's probably just different. Like, I don't understand what it's like to be experiencing this and to close your eyes while you're closing your eyes. Like, so a lot of this is me shooting in the dark, like literally. So that's interesting.
By the way, I think I was bragging to myself a bit while we were doing that because I was picturing myself on this beach while we were doing that for a second, and I was like, I just gotta let Emory know that the level of inception. I'll use it again.
Yeah.
That you know what? Do it in the same font and color as
Sure.
aphantasia. that I could go with this. I was literally like, eyes closed, myself, thought bubble of thinking about this stuff, me with my eyes closed.
Wow, that's like 5 dimensions more than what I have. So I'm glad we all laid that out. I'm glad that was very clear. All right.
But it clearly hasn't hindered you in any way, shape, or form because your profession is literally describing things like
Or so it seems.
I mean, it is to me now. If you could rhyme, dude, you'd be the best poet around.
Yeah, have you ever tried your hand at slam poetry? I guess is what we're asking.
I have not done any slam poetry. There's I've written some poetry before, but not in a little while.
Man,
I'd love to read it now. I'm
right?
not just saying that. That was can't stress enough how like I know that you did this exercise for one reason. I feel like we found a different, better reason, like level of this experiment. Where how the fuck did you write that, man? Like I couldn't even write that, and I can see things in my head.
I really don't. I don't know
Do
how.
you want a DM?
I would be terrible. I don't know.
I don't think you would.
I don't think you would. Because sometimes I'm just like, you're in, like, literally today I was like, it's an old shack. It sucks, but there's an old woman. I forgot to name her, though. Whamp, whamp.
Yeah, you were
now play
literally
D&D.
first name old, last name woman.
Yeah, and go role play in the environment that I've set up. But you were just like I could, like, every grain of sand. I was like, there they all are.
I just had a crazy aphantasia theory.
Okay.
What if there's, I guess I don't know what would you call, we can see stuff in our brains,
Mm-hmm.
in our souls. What do you call that? What is that called?
Picturing things in my head?
But his thing's called aphantasia. He's got a cool science name for it. What's our cool science name?
Our cool science name is Inception 2, the sequel to Inception.
Okay, let's assume that, no, I'm not going to say that for just because of like what I'm trying to describe. All right. Let's say there's a picture in your head dimension. Different, even maybe a different universe.
Okay.
What if that Emory's dead and he can't picture it
Oh,
because that
I
Emory's
see.
dead?
All of us have another. I see. That's interesting.
Well, hot dang. This just took an entirely different, like...
You're talking about some, like, Dark Crystal shit.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's kind of, I really wish there was something else I could describe this, but, like, there's a dream world in South Park, and if you imagine something, it comes true. Like, it lives in the dream world, so, like, picture your stuff in your head universe, Chris and Anthony, were just brought to that beach because I said Emory, didn't I? I meant Anthony.
Yeah.
Because Emory put them there,
Yeah.
but his is dead.
I see.
So
Okay.
he can't picture it.
That's.
Well, now I'm even more sad. I didn't even know I lost someone, and I just found
I
out.
didn't know I had anyone to lose.
Well, obviously that was a major, like, extension and sidetrack of that topic, so I don't know what was next on the podcast.
We're
No,
done.
man, we're talking about this till the end. No.
Yeah, we're done, baby. We've been going for a little over an hour.
Holy, okay, what just
Say
happened?
whatever you want.
I don't know why I just held back. I was about to say holy shit, and I'm like, oh, don't swear.
Yeah.
It's the podcast with your friends who swear all the time. You can't do that.
I don't know why. I don't know where I got this from, but instead of saying Jesus Christ, I've been saying Jeezo. Have you noticed that I've been doing that?
Yeah.
I don't know why. I've just
I
been
like it.
like Chris will be like, look at this large number you didn't expect to see, and I'd be like, oh, Jeezo, and I'm like, what am I? Why am I turning into fucking Flanders from Simpsons? A show that I love that show, love that mean yellow family. But no, that's I mean, that's it, man. Podcast done.
That's me.
Any more final
Yeah, any
words?
closing thoughts about
Anything?
Aphantasia or Star Wars or?
Gosh, I don't know. I think you guys probably got an earful and an imagination full. Hopefully.
No, I mean that was every time you bring this up, I'm never bored. It's always fascinating, and like I
don't think he ever brings it up. I think we forcefully make
No,
him
you're
talk
right.
about it.
You're right. Every time I make you talk about this, I'm fascinated.
Well, no, it's always still interesting because I live day to day forgetting that I have this. Like,
Right, yeah.
I don't think about it.
Why would you? You know, like, why would he think about it?
Right. Yeah.
I can't. I got to go on record, by the way, just saying like how little he talks about it. I've known this cat for like, I knew him for like a year and a half, and then I'm sitting in Chipotle, and they hit me with this new concept I've never heard before, and then it ruined my next month of my life because it's all I could think about.
Every time, for whatever reason, whether it was a Set the Nation show or we were just hanging out to be friends, we were like, so what about this? I think we're done finding out new things. Like, I think everything's on the table as far as how this weird thing you have works. Or maybe not.
I don't know.
I hope
like,
I'm wrong
there's
because
always going to be something new that comes up that you're like, wait, this too? And I tried to just cover it just now, but you really never know.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for coming on our show.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, that's been podcast. Please give our channel a like and a subscribe if you haven't already. Liking and commenting that it doesn't seem like it does much, but it really does. Our theme song, don't you fucking do it. Our theme song is Sunny Day by Froggy and the Friendship.
I don't know what I was supposed to do.
They were good. They were nice enough to let us use that. Go check them out on SoundCloud. They're great. Our friend Ryan is in that band, as we always say.
Yeah. I'm Lightning.
I'm Thunder, and
I'm Dr. Emory Paine.
fuck yeah. You're going to jail.
Yeah.
This is the last
Busted.
thing you'll hear from me, so enjoy it.
Make my best of all.